Welcome back, everybody. One of the questions we get asked all the time in the shop is, can I help pick out a flat side square bill crankbait? And this time of the year, when the shad are moving into the shallows and the fish are gorging on them, one of the best ways to get them is with a flat side crankbait, especially one like a square bill that you can bang through brush, you can fish shallow and not worry about snagging all the time. So today, we're gonna break down our top 5 favorite flat side square bills so you guys can catch more fish this fall. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of Megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Depths, Lucky Craft, Jackal, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of Megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of Megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard to find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. All right, so why a flat side over, say, a traditional rounder square bill? Well, really, in theory, a round square bill, like something like a Lucky Craft 1.5 or a Strike King 1.5 or 2.5 or whatever size you want to do, is designed in a rounder shape to have a real wide, hard wobble to it. A flat side bait is designed to be very tight, and it's really designed to imitate a bait fish. So when this comes through the water, it's going to have a very tight vibration to it, just like the bait fish are going to have as the water cools down. Remember, the colder the water gets, the tighter those fish are moving. When it's warm and life is good, those fish are just swimming around all nice and natural. But as it gets colder, then their bones get tighter, same as us, right? Everything just gets tighter. Their movement gets tighter, their sound gets a little like bone crack. So the flat side crankbait is just a great way to match that swim and that profile. So we're gonna break down the ones that we utilize in our arsenal so that it makes sense when to use which one and which ones are worth looking at if you haven't got into this, okay? So in my hand, we might as well start here. This is the Evergreen International Flat Force Crankbait. Now, this guy, he's been out on the market for a couple years, really caught fire last year. Brett Hite and a couple other guys really started just destroying them on this thing. And really, it's just not a lot fancy to it. It has a circuit board lip. It has internal solid tungsten weight to keep it balanced. There's no sound, right? It's quiet. But what it does is it has just a beautiful shad profile. I mean, it looks just like a shad. It swims just like a shad. And it's just one of those crankbaits that gets eaten. They just eat it. You could throw this anywhere, and really it doesn't have to be in the fall of the year. They smack this thing. So if you guys are just getting started, this is just a great all-around bait to just throw in all types of conditions. This is called cold shad, this color that I have here. This is a great one for our waters, where they're really feeding heavily on threadfin and small gizzard shad. It just matches it great, but there's all kinds of colors, bluegills and different chartreuses and that kind of stuff. So match it to your water clarity where you are, but definitely give this guy a look. It's about a ½ ounce, a little over ½ an ounce. So it's just a great, easy to cast bait. You guys are gonna love this one. Another one that we always have on deck is the Megabass Sonic Side crankbait. Sonic Side is another ½ ounce crankbait, 67 millimeters long. So it's a little bit bigger than that Evergreen one. But you'll notice it's got a squared off lip and just a slightly different design and build to it. What's great about the Sonic Side is that you can fish this thing at any speed. So most square bill crankbaits are designed to throw up and just kind of be at a steady clip, right? So they can bounce and deflect. But if you go too fast, then they have a tendency to kind of roll on their side. The Sonic Side was built to burn. So you can certainly fish this thing slow, and it's going to deflect great with this squared off circuit board lip. But if you want to burn it, if your fish are really aggressive or you're fishing around a lot of bait that's really just moving very quickly, you can burn this thing, you can grind it, and it will not roll. It will stay true. It's got a dual tungsten internal weighting system that sits low on the bait here that keeps it keeled. So at any speed, it's going straight. And it's just a great crankbait to throw this time of the year. Another amazing one, this is from OSP. This is the HPF crank. Now this is the Spec 2 version. Now this is kind of an interesting one, and this is a really fun one, and one that definitely comes into play quite a bit. This is probably the truest flat side. I mean, this is about as flat as it gets, right? But even though this guy is flat, it's got a wider movement than those other ones that we just talked about. The reason for that is because the bill shape is forcing it to really kind of kick this tail back, right? So even though it's got a tight side to side, at the same time that tail is moving a long distance. So it's almost a 2-in-1 motion with this guy in the water. Deflects off cover great. It's got amazing colors, even some matte finishes, which are amazing in like cloudy conditions, overcast conditions, which we get a lot this time of the year. So if you're looking for a good alternative that's got a little more of an aggressive movement to it, the HPF Spec 2 is a great one from OSP. One that isn't quite a true flat side, but it's not quite a true round crankbait either, is from Lucky Craft, and this is the SKT. Now this is available in just a regular SKT version as well as an SKT mini version, and the MR is kind of like a hybrid round flat crankbait. So you can see it's got a little more of a rounded side to it, but it's still pretty tall and pretty flat. And this has been a staple in a lot of our arsenals for years. It's just a very easy crankbait to throw, wind down the bank, it deflects great, it floats up great, the fish eat it. Again, all these baits so far have been very quiet, so they're all going to be natural in approach. They're definitely going to be like a visual stimulus, right? So we want these things to look real so that the fish are reacting to actually seeing something that they think is real. So what's great about this guy also, this is the regular size, this is the mini size, and the mini size, even though it's only a 1/4 ounce, it still casts great. So you can downsize when they get on really tiny bait too. From Lucky Craft, this is a great one to add in the arsenal, and they're pretty inexpensive as well, so that helps. All right, and then rounding out our top 5 is from Ima, Japan, and this is the Ima Shaker. Now, this is probably our least selling square bill that's flat side because a lot of guys still don't know about this thing, but what's great about the Ima Shaker is that it actually has a weight transfer system in it. So it casts like a dream, which none of the other ones so far have had, and it creates a rattle. So sometimes you need to have just a little bit of sound. Maybe the wind's blowing, maybe it's creating waves, maybe your water's funky and you just need something to create a little bit of sound, right? That's where this rattle can come into play. So when you need the fish to find the bait and you need to calm a little bit more, that's when we'll switch over to the Ima Shaker. It deflects great, it casts great, it's very nice and flat, but it's just a really good all-around bait to add into the arsenal when you need just a little bit more noise under the water. All right, those are our 5 favorite flat side crankbaits. You know, this is definitely the season, fall, for, you know, bait fish and flat side baits, but don't be afraid to throw these things all year. You know, just because the water warms up doesn't mean you can't keep catching them on the flat side crankbait. They're great tools to have, so put them to use. If you have any questions, definitely drop them in the comments below. If you could subscribe to our channel before Jeff yells at me to remember to subscribe to our channel, that would be great. So please subscribe, click the bell thing. If you want to follow us along on Instagram, it's the Hookup Tackle USA, or of course myself, Tackle Otaku, Jeffrey the King. As always, thank you guys for watching. Arigatou gozaimasu. Peace.